showtime. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Gen 4 cars at Barber. And really, you've got to ask what genius thought this up. And me. I'm the genius that thought up Gen 4 cars at Barber. We're about to get rolling here for 35 laps at iRacing's Barber Motorsports Park. 10 brave souls taking on round 14 of TNT. We are racing. Nick Pressey has already gone around the 94 with a big spin. Noah Belleville out to a lead. Matt Seeger in second, almost making contact. Briley Wright gets a little bit bunched up there. The 39 of Colin McDonough almost goes off the racetrack. Kevin Feemster now beside him into the hairpin. Who's going to lose control of the race car? Everybody clean and green on the way through. Thomas Andrews okay. Richie Catania in the 2-4. On the outside of Thomas Andrews. Oh, looks like Andrews already got a little bit loose, and there's contact with Ryan Pennell in the 1-2, and caution flies on lap number 1, and it's the two Penske numbered machines. Thomas Andrews, Ryan Pennell, heavy contact down the front straight, and the 1-2 Bulldogs machine damaged heavily. And, well, as much as we didn't want that to happen, I think a lot of guys struggling to control the race cars out there. It's not an easy track. We were here Tuesday with Winter Indy, and we had a few cars turn up for that. I had a great time. The racing was amazing. I think there's actually one GIF that the Thursday Night Thunder Twitter posted with, and it was Briley Wright just careening into Noah Belleville in the hairpin corner. Let's see what happened to Nick Pressey on lap number 1. Oh, maybe just got loose, got into the 16 of Seeger. He went around, and then Thomas Andrews looks like he just got into the grass and lost control of the race car. Have a look. Oh my God, he gave it way too much gas. Throttles up again, and Ryan Pennell with nowhere to go. Watch this again. Really enthusiastic going up the hill, avoids hitting Tommy Withers, comes back onto the racetrack, and nowhere for Ryan Pennell to avoid him. Let's watch on board with the 12 car. He's already up the hill by now. Have another look. And that's caution number 1. So Ryan Pennell back to the same place. Looks like he got maybe just a couple of things touched up on that race car. Noah Belleville still out front from where he started. Matt Seeger in second from where he started. Briley Wright sits in third, and rookie Colin McDonough running in the 4th position. If you just tuned in, you have not missed really more than half a lap of racing. Thomas Andrews loses control, gets right into the front of Ryan Pennell. Noah Belleville with the blinking this evening, and I really hope that's not going to be a problem for him. Coming into this race, the points championship is almost locked up. Belleville comes into this race with an unbelievable point lead. By my math, I think that's 557 to 518. So it's, what, a 49-point difference, I think? Is that what it is, 49 points? No. 39? I can't do math. What in the hell is that? $39, I think. Anyway, I can't do math. It doesn't matter. Noah Belleville has a fantastic lead coming into this into this race here. He leads so far after that first caution. We're going to go to... Did Ryan Pinnell also just have an incident coming into the pits? What happened to the 1-2? No, just going slow behind Thomas Andrews. And the pit entry here, I will bet a couple of dollars. The pit entry here is going to get a couple of guys in trouble. Hopefully, we don't have a bunch of crashing, but genuinely hoping that everybody just, makes it through okay and doesn't have any major calamities. So, lap 1 crash. Let's have another look. Thomas Andrews and Ryan Pinnell getting into it. And Mr. Pinnell, from his point of view. Not a comfortable ride for Uga. Debug says Common Core Math in the chat. Now, I think we were actually having a conversation about Common Core Math. I don't know if you all have tried Common Core. I mean, shoot, I haven't been to school in an unbelievable amount of years, but if any of you have tried Common Core Math and you know Debugs' pain, shout it out in the chat. Let him know what's up, because last time we were talking about it, it seemed to be the headache of the century here. Going green this time by, drivers just coming out of the S's here. Noah Belleville will have control of the field. Matt Seeger will be beside him. Ryan Pinnell has a shiny race car to play with when we restart this race on lap number 4. Thomas Andrews now brings up the back of the field. And what was going to be a 2-stop race may now be a 1-stop race from here. Drivers able to go approximately 18 to 20 laps on 1 tank of fuel. So saith the Drip Diecast and Collectibles track facts. Noah Belleville still tied for most single-season wins. Last week, Chris Fleming getting a pretty cool last lap win at Daytona. Everybody wrecks behind him. Donald Ray with a shot to win, but not close enough. And coming out of turn number 4, the uncontested Chris Fleming, not in tonight's roster, gets his 2nd win of the season, much like he did at Talladega. The pride of DeSoto, Missouri, Noah Belleville, leads the field around the final 2 corners. Green flag will come out at Barber Motorsports Park, and watch the 4-1 launch. Green flag is out. Let's go. Do they all make it through the first couple of corners? Clean, green, and undisturbed. Everybody's safe. Side by side, Briley Wright, Matt Seeger up the hill. And into the hairpin. Hopefully everybody makes it through unscathed. Here comes Pressey on the inside. Tommy Withers also looking to tuck in behind Catania. Everyone makes it through. Into the corkscrew now, S's, Singapore Sling, whatever you'd like to call it. Seeger with a little bit of a dent on the left-hand side. Everybody's through. Belleville shot out of a cannon. Matt Seeger now attacking Briley Wright on board with the 16. Not a Rick James TV race if there's not minor technical difficulties going on, but I think we've got it all sorted now. Matt Seeger still following Briley Wright for the second position. Nick Pressey close behind. Indiana's Kevin Feemster also following. And Richie Catania in the 2-4 DuPont machine. And if that looks familiar to you, you might recognize that from the 2001 Chevy Rock and Roll 400 and the Central Floridian. Donning a rare paint scheme, genuinely. If you haven't seen this paint scheme, it only ran for one race in 2001 with really expensive paint. I don't think it did very well. In 2002, I think Jeff Gordon had another Bugs Bunny paint scheme, and I can't remember if that one raced or it crashed in practice. I'm not sure. Anyway, Richie sitting in sixth, about 1 second behind Kevin Feemster, but Colin McDonough's right behind him. Let's go on board with Colin. Well, Colin McDonough's gotten around Richie Catania now, so let's go on board with Richie. And you can hear just how ginger he is on the throttle, trying to attack the curbs, but still trying to, keep it pointed in the right direction. Noah Belleville just went purple, unsurprisingly. Belleville out to a 3.7-second lead over Briley Wright. And Briley with a tail full of Nick Pressey. Let's watch this. "55 miles an hour, blistering speed through that hairpin. And shout out to Keller, who subscribed before we went green here. With the Darrell Waltrip boogity noise. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Tommy Withers, the Virginian, looks like he's gone off the track. Let's see what happened to him. Does he give it too much throttle? Yeah, he absolutely does. Oh, and the Winn-Dixie machine takes a hard hit. Ryan Pinnell looks like he also went off the track. The Georgia Bulldogs machine. Oh, just touches the grass. But he keeps it moving on the racetrack. Good for Pinnell. Take another shot at the back of that car. Watch the light flash across the back where it says Georgia Bulldogs. That's cool. I love that. That's pretty cool. Tommy Withers. Let's see how quickly he takes the final corner here. Keeps it above 50 miles an hour. He's running in the 9th position. Ryan Pinnell in 10th. Belleville keeps on going faster. 127.84 his last time through. The quickest lap thus far. The battle for second getting hotter. And what happened to Briley Wright? Because he's now down to the 4th position. Looks like Pressey got around him. And this is Briley going through the S's. Does he just go wide? He goes really wide, yup, and then he loses all sorts of acceleration, all sorts of speed. And then this is Matt Seeger getting around Briley Wright. And that puts Matt Seeger into a bronze medal position. Wright's all over the place, and Kevin Feemster's behind him now. And Wright almost goes off the racetrack. On board with Feemster. I guess. There we go. Oh, Briley gives it a wide shake out of the corner. Kevin's right there. Nick Pressey in the 94 sits just ahead of Matt Seeger. 0.6 of a second the gap. Briley Wright and Kevin Feemster playing their own game. Kevin's on the attack, and the DeWalt Ford now trying to come up behind that 2.9 Good Wrench Chevrolet. These two are going to have a good-looking battle for the for fourth position. The bronze medal spot goes to Matt Seeger. Looks like he hit those curbs pretty hard, and he has now let Nick Pressey get out to 0.8 of a second gap. And in the distance is Matt Seeger in that machine. And there's Briley looking at Kevin Feemster, still in his shadow. Looks like Nick Pressey's gone off the racetrack. Pressey goes really wide out of the last corner. And now second place is a side-by-side drag race. Out of the final corner, Matt Seeger's got a great run on Nick Pressey down that front straight. And Pressey puts the block on him. You see just a bit of damage on the right front corner of that 94 machine. If you didn't see earlier in this race, as there's almost a little contact between them, Nick Pressey spun on turn number 1. Looks like he made a little bit of contact, and that contact was with Matt Seeger, actually. So these two, as Matt Seeger gives it a bit of a tail slide, just drag racing into that hairpin, and hopefully they come out in one piece. Seeger wants that second spot. Now Briley Wright looks like he's going to get closer. Seeger gives it a shake. And Kevin Feemster still in contention as well. Let's go on board with the Georgian. You can see the 16 right through the brief gap in the windshield. Nick Pressey inviting Matt Seeger on the attack, and Briley has come to play too. All of this for second. Briley looks like he's going to take on Matt Seeger. He locks it up into the first corner. Briley trying not to make any contact with Seeger, and he almost loses the race car there. Run this back. Watch Briley lock up the car into turn number 1, and he flies off the racetrack. You can hear him downshift furiously, and luckily they made no contact there, but a heads-up play nonetheless. Briley Wright holds on to it. Tommy Withers briefly has a flash off track, and the Winn-Dixie machine with a big drift around turn number 1. And where's the Tokyo drift noise when you need it? Tommy Withers with a spin out of the second corner. He's running in the 9th position. And now Ryan Pinnell looks like he wants to join the party here. A couple of Ford Tauruses just drifting around Barber. And Ryan Pinnell, does he smell blood in the water? Said he's going to run the car out of fuel. He's not planning on pitting. He's planning on going the distance. So we'll see just how far he makes it. Who knows? He might be able to go the distance. Matt Seeger, has Nick Pressey come to the pits? Nick Pressey's in the pits here on lap number 9 with 25 laps to go. Watch this. Looks like Nick Pressey just went extremely wide, and he was forced to go in the pits. Oh, he's going to need a caution now to stay. Look at that. Yeah, just extremely wide, goes way off the racetrack. And Pressey just forces himself into the pits. Maybe this is a scheduled pit stop. Who knows? I could be dead wrong. I've been wrong before. Moldy's daddy in the chat says, Noah and I walked the entirety of this track, and he's just lost because the pedestrian bridge is not in the it's not in the sim. Anybody who knows Barber, if they could clue me in, when did they add the pedestrian bridge on this racetrack? Because maybe it's recent, or who knows, maybe I just don't have my settings dialed all the way up. But yeah, if it's something recent, then that would explain why it hasn't been added to the sim here. Second place is still up for grabs, by the way. Matt Seeger is only 1 second ahead of Briley Wright, but Briley Wright attacks this track beautifully. And Kevin Feemster also in the mix as well. He's going to go up the hill, give it a bit of a slide. Let's go on board with the 17. Seeger with a tail full of Briley Wright. Thomas Andrews looks like he's gone off the racetrack, and the number 2 does go wide out of that last corner. Nick Pressey, who's got fresh tires and just pitted on lap number 10, now coming up on the New Jersey pilot. Tommy Withers looks like he's gone off the racetrack, and the Mark Martin Winn-Dixie Ford goes off, and he now loses 9th place to Birmingham's Ryan Pennell. This is his home track. He's a graduate of Hoover High School and the big Georgia Bulldogs fan. Now comes out of that final corner with the 9th position. Tommy Withers will now give chase, and he's got a great run as you see the front ends just lift right off the racetrack, and then they slam back down when they get on the brakes. Pennell goes wide, and he spins. Here goes Withers, and he's going to take 9th place. Pennell keeps it from spinning all the way around, and now they trade spots once again. Tommy Withers into 9th, Ryan Pennell into 10th, and Matt Seeger 0.8 of a second ahead of Briley Wright. Oh, Briley goes extremely wide off that final corner. Kevin Feemster doesn't quite follow him, but he's now hot on his heels. 1-7 chasing the 2-9, and it's 22 laps to go next time by. Oh, does the 2-9 wheel hop it? Huge slide for Briley Wright. What happened here was their contact. See if we can go to the sky. Oh, heavy contact between these two. And the second caution of the race comes out as expected. Kevin Feemster, big-time contact into Briley Wright. Cody Pennell in the chat saying, I still remember when Ryan won state as the starting QB for Hoover High School. Good times for Ryan Pennell, and luckily it hasn't changed him. He's stayed humble. Go back here in just a moment and take a look at the contact between those two. And now correct me, Cody, but to the best of my knowledge, and I could be wrong, I thought that Hoover High School was the Buccaneers, not the Cougars. I might be wrong. I don't know that much about Birmingham, but the graduate of Hoover High School would certainly tell us there. But I thought he was quarterback for the Bucs when he was there breaking state records. A lot of legend about this kid, definitely. Coming up through Pop Warner, through Pee Wee, they always saw something special in him, and he's a big part of the legend, not just of Hoover, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama as a whole, but Thursday Night Thunder as well. A lot of history in his athletic career. Let's go back and see what happened. We saw it earlier. Kevin Feemster really just got into Briley Wright. I got into is one thing. I think just ran through might be another. Let's go on board with Briley. Yeah, 17 just lifts the 2-9. Oh, but that is not what I'm looking for. My mistake. And this is Briley Wright earlier, so he just goes really wide out of the final corner. Here comes Kevin Feemster following him out of the last corner and into turn one. To Kevin's credit, he had a huge burst of speed going down the front straight. Watch this. He just lifts the 2-9. 2-9 goes for a bit of a spill, and that brings out caution number 2 this evening. So Noah Belleville is reeled back in to the rest of the competition. Let's see if we can... Let's bother him. Let's try and ruin the rest of his race, because he's just been dominating and putting the rest of this field to shame. Noah, Moldy, Belleville, Rick James up top. You got me. Noah Belleville, Rick James in the house. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, Moldy, there we got you. All right, got you, buddy.
Hey.
All right. So everybody's coming into the pits except for Nick Pressey, who pitted on lap 10, but really he went wide off the last corner, so I'm not sure if that was scheduled or not.
It was not.
It
He was talking about it.
Yeah, definitely not scheduled. But I guess he's going to stay out. I mean, if I were him, Thomas Andrews goes, I thought he went through his pit stall. Never mind. If I were Nick Pressey, I would have come down. I would have come down, got tires, fuel, get back on pace with the rest of the field. But he's going to stay out on tires that are only 4 laps old. But I don't know. Maybe he's gambling on another yellow. Anyway,
Yeah.
Enough about Nick. Back to you. Are you not lonely out there just putting a terrible amount of destruction on this field?
I don't even have time to focus on the loneliness because it's tough to run around this track. So I'm just really focused on running a lap.
To your credit, you have half a second on Nick Pressey as far as best lap goes, fastest lap goes. Tonight, almost looking like you may end up clinching the Thursday Night Thunder Championship as well. So regardless of how lonely you are out there or how much of a Max Verstappen style of dominance you put on this field, it may end up being a very special night for you. And if not tonight, then almost certainly sometime in the next few weeks. In any case, have you thought about that championship at all? It's a sort of vindication after we picked on you for years and we said run a full-time season, you'd win a championship, and you never did?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about it through the season, but not too much this race. I've just been focused on it. And I did want to add real quick that as far as Pressey goes, this actually works in his favor because he just got track position and he's basically on the same cycle as us now. Most of us will probably run this out and then take a splash and go at the end, but this pretty much gets Pressey right back with us, so I'm gonna have to pass him.
You've also got Seeger behind you as well, who's been putting up a really good fight. Not to mention, Briley and Kevin are also having fun back there, too. This is an incredibly hard track, though. I mean, where do you find the most difficulty?
Probably where we're at right now. Like, through this last turn. I almost crashed going through here one time, but yeah, it's hard. And it's also really hard to pass, so this should be interesting.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, man. We're going to let you get focused up. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back to see you go running again.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Fans at home, that's going to be a 60-minute break coming up there. So grab a drink. I'm going to grab myself a zesty beverage. You do the same. We will be back in 60 seconds with more Thursday Night Thunder racing from Barber. It's absolutely nuts. It's insane, but I'm having a great time, and I hope you are too. We'll see you back in 1 minute. ready to go racing in Birmingham's Barber Motorsports Park. Call it a pre-halftime break, if you will, but back to racing action. Nick Pressey will have control of the field and waits for a great jump out of that final corner. 9-4 gets the green, and we're racing again at Barber. Pressey with a great shuffle in front of Belleville. Will they all survive out of turns 1 and 2? Pressey goes wide out of turn 1, right in front of the field. And is there contact? No contact yet. And they all make it around Pressey undisturbed. Belleville to the lead. Pressey survives. 18 to go. Next time by. Pressey, a man possessed, now locks it up, almost out of frustration coming out of that hairpin corner. A lot of work to do now for Nick. Getting around Tommy Withers in the 60. Pressey attacks the hell out of that curb. What is wrong with him? He's possessed now. He's just trying to make up for that mistake. And there goes Noah Belleville, never to be seen again. And if Max Verstappen is out there somewhere, challenge Noah Belleville or humble him or do whatever the hell you got to do. If he comes away with his victory, somebody's gone around, somebody's spun big time. You just heard it up here. You heard the tires squealing and everything. And Pressey just briefly goes off the track. Tommy Withers behind him. Colin McDonough now chasing down Briley Wright. This is for third. Imagine the rookie, Colin McDonough, tugging on Briley Wright's coattails for the third position. Let's go back to the start of the restart of the race here. Pressey with great control of the field, but I think he just overcooks it into turn 1. Absolutely overcooks it into turn number 1, and I was honestly expecting contact to be made, guys to crash around him, and no, hats off to the entire field who makes it around him undisturbed. Nick Pressey flying back through the field, though. Here he is fighting Colin McDonough for the 4th spot, and I tell you what, Briley Wright better look out because Nick Pressey's not playing. Here comes Tommy Withers through the S's. He's going to be on the back end of Colin McDonough. 6-0 behind the 3-9, and up the S's they go. It is an extremely challenging racetrack, and Nick Pressey almost goes wide again and forces another unscheduled pit stop. 9-4 on the outside of the 3-9, and that's Nick Pressey into the 4th position. Belleville goes purple, but nobody cares. Briley Wright in that 3rd spot, 4 seconds ahead of Nick Pressey. Kevin Feemster is making moves. The 1-7 now to the left-hand side of Rich Catania. In the 2-4. That's for the 8th position. Let's go on board with Kev. Sim racing or not, that's just beautiful, watching these cars race in the sunset. All of these paint schemes, custom or whether they're throwbacks to some of your favorite paint schemes from your childhood, they all just look good gleaming in that iRacing sunlight. This is an awesome drag race here for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Colin McDonough right up the backside of Kevin Feemster. A little bit of smoke, a little bit of contact. Oh, look at McDonough, really puts the hammer down. You can see him skating up the hill, just trying to get all the speed he can. Out of the Tailored Graphics 39, Withers goes through the corkscrew. He's going to go wide out of there. 17 of Feemster. Now a little bit slow. Withers gets his speed back. Do they make contact? And Withers goes wide off the corner there. Now it's Feemster, McDonough, Catania in the 2-4. Headed into the left-hander. Richie Catania up ahead, and Colin McDonough now tasked with challenging Kevin Feemster. Thomas Andrews in the top 5 position. Is he going to hang on? Feemster almost decides to send it in on Thomas Andrews. 14 laps to go next time by. They're drag racing here for the position. Andrews wide. How about Colin McDonough with a great pass? He's going to get around Thomas Andrews into 6th. Andrews sliding back, and the Season 4 champion now has the DuPont Chevrolet and the Winn-Dixie Ford to deal with. If you just tuned in, we've had a couple of crashes tonight. No major deal, mostly clean and green. It's been the Noah Belleville show up front, and it always will be. It's been the Noah Belleville show all season long, and if the race ends like this, Noah Belleville will now have the single season record for most Thursday Night Thunder wins, and as of a couple of weeks ago, well, no, 3 weeks ago, I think, Noah Belleville ended up coming home with the all-time Thursday Night Thunder win record. It's now set at 21, and he's looking to set the mark one higher at 22. Matt Seeger and Briley Wright, they're going to duel it out for second. Briley Wright sees the window, sends it in deep on the 16. The Georgian gives way. The Kentucky driver slow out of the first corner. He's going to hold up the Georgian, and the 2-9 now going wide out of the third turn. Seeger looks for a window on the inside, and Briley Wright just gets a better exit. And drag race into the hairpin. If you were watching with us Tuesday, then you saw Briley Wright just absolutely launch into Noah Belleville, into this hairpin corner. Hopefully we don't see that again. It was hilarious, though. You can see the GIF on the Thursday Night Thunder Twitter. Colin McDonough on the inside of a locked-up Kevin Feemster, and McDonough just misses his window of opportunity. The Indiana native skating up the hill and now running away with this one. And Kevin Feemster goes really hot into the S's. Thomas Andrews starting to gain traction. Tommy Withers now looking to get a pass on him. Not to give Noah Belleville any more attention than he needs, but I do want to see what a lap looks like from his point of view. So let's go on board with Matt Seeger is in. Did he realize he cannot make it on fuel, or did he just go wide out of the corner? What happened to Matt Seeger? Something's gone on with Nick Pressey. What's happened with the 94? Did he spin? Oh, he went well off the racetrack. Where's this? Yeah, this is going up the hill. And he just goes incredibly wide. Matt Seeger, on the other hand, at some point, Seeger went off of pit road, but I want to know if this is planned. Oh, it looks planned. It looks planned. Maybe he cannot make it on fuel. Noah Belleville was talking about just a splash of gas and going the rest of the race. Does Matt Seeger know that they can't make it? He just came back out onto the racetrack. It'll be a dozen laps to go next time by. Richie Catania locks up the wheels, headed into the hairpin. Matt Seeger with tires that are 8 laps newer will now come back out onto the racetrack. And actually, Seeger didn't get tires at all. He only spent 6 seconds in the pits. He got fuel only. Same with Tommy Withers in the 60. Although he came down on lap 12, he got fuel only. But I don't think he has enough to go the distance. I'm interested now. Again, the Drip Diecast and Collectibles track facts telling you that drivers can go approximately 15 to 20 laps. Probably on the long side of that. So I would say 18 to 19 laps on a tank of fuel. They did pit on lap 14, meaning that in a 35-lap race, they're going to have to pit before this one's over. We'll see what happens. Belleville well in control. And while things have calmed down, this is a good time as any to bring up our sponsors and the people that make us go round, both literally and figuratively. Drip Diecast and Collectibles. They have supported us since day number 1. And, well, Nick Pressey. You may never see his paint scheme on the Drip Diecast website, but he's still trying out there, and you gotta love the fighting spirit. But if you love some of the retro, if you will, nostalgic, throwback paint schemes, just the paint schemes that made you love NASCAR as a kid, check out the folks over at Drip Diecast. We're gonna post their link in the chat here in just a moment, but they have every sort of diecast paint scheme you can imagine. It's from the 60 of Tommy Withers that you see right there in front of you, and then the 2 car, obviously the Blue Deuce. Who doesn't love that one as well? Drip Diecasts are your #1 store on eBay and Facebook for all sorts of NASCAR memorabilia. Kevin Feemster driving that awesome Matt Kenseth 17. Briley Wright in the gorgeous Kevin Harvick 29. Check out the folks at Drip Diecast and Collectibles. There's the link in the Twitch chat one more time. ebay.com/str/Drip Diecasts. The holidays are coming up. Get a gift for you. Get a gift for somebody you love. Get a gift for somebody you hate. I don't care. Check them out. Do yourself a favor. Drip Diecasts and Collectibles on eBay and Facebook. That's Drip Diecasts and Collectibles on eBay and Facebook. Your #1 online store for all sorts of NASCAR memorabilia. And if anything else, just check them out because they support TNT and they keep us going. Hell of a battle for the 5th spot. Tommy Withers, well, and Thomas Andrews just bids goodbye to this battle for the 5th spot. Now it's a drag race into the hairpin. The 16 and the 24 side by side. 24 goes really wide, and he's going to give the spot to Matt Seeger. Can't try the undercut there. Tommy Withers now walking away with the 5th position. Seeger in 6th, Catania in 7th, Andrews in 8th. Nick Pressey back out on the racetrack in lightning style. Matt Seeger pitted on lap 22, but remember, his tires are more fresh than the rest of the competition. That gap between Withers in 5th and Seeger in 6th is waning. Shout out to Kevin Feemster as well. He's got a few podiums this season. And while Kevin is not incredibly high in the points, call this a part-time season if you want, there have been flashes of brilliance from this corn-fed Indiana native. Don't sleep on him. Definitely do yourself a favor, and if you're up against this guy, don't sleep on him, because when he's on, he's on. Looking at the points, Kevin does have an average finish of 10th, so I mean, he guarantees himself a top 10. He's 10th in the points right now. It speaks for himself, and he's only 8 markers behind Colin McDonough, who's behind him in 4th. So even as the season comes to what will be a short close in these next few weeks, there's still positions to fight for. Belleville leading by a ridiculous amount. Crazy. Matt Seeger, on the other hand, has gotten around Tommy Withers, and how did that happen? Just look at how he ate him up on that last lap. This is on lap 25, so there's Matt Seeger. There's Tommy Withers. And Seeger just swallows him alive. Well, and there goes Withers with a terrible entrance into the final corner, and that kind of just sets him up, doesn't it? And that's Matt Seeger getting around Tommy Withers for the 5th position. So Emily, wherever she's at in the house, she must be thrilled. And speaking of Emily, we need to update her on those NFL scores. I think we have the Browns playing tonight. Let me get a look on these scores real quick. Yep, Steelers and Browns playing Thursday night football tonight, and maybe they're in halftime. I have no idea. We'll check the scores here in a second when we can. Colin McDonough in that 4th position. Matt Seeger in 5th, and over the last 5 laps, Matt Seeger, that last time, took 4 seconds off of Colin McDonough's gap, and the 16 continues to climb. Maybe, just maybe, he's got the hang of Barber. It is, and we'll be saying it well after this race is over, it is an extremely difficult track. Will Thursday Night Thunder ever come here again? I have no idea. A lot of drivers weren't excited about racing this track, but they showed up, they accepted the challenge, and here they are. I think that it's been a lot of fun to watch. I think we've had a great show so far, and if you missed the first couple of incidents, we'll fill you back in here. This is on the green flag, Nick Pressey on lap number 1. Keep your eye on that 94 machine. Pressey with a spin makes contact with Matt Seeger, and he goes for a ride on lap number 2. Ryan Pennell. Nope, this is well after I expected that. Hang on. Lap number 1, Thomas Andrews goes around. Keep your eye on the blue deuce. Heavy hit for Andrews, right into Ryan Pennell. Tommy Withers had an incident on lap 10. Watch this. Big slide for the Winn-Dixie machine. Where in the world was he going? Came in way too hot. And then Briley Wright got a butt full of DeWalt Ford into turn 1. Kevin says hi. Briley goes around. 7 laps to go next time by. Matt Seeger in the 3rd position. When in the world did he get around Colin McDonough? Watch this. This is actually on this lap here. McDonough goes extremely wide. Matt Seeger's just, he's crazy. He's out of this world. Looking for another podium. So that's 3rd place to Matt Seeger. Noah Belleville's lead reduced to a measly 24 seconds after briefly going off the racetrack. That's got to be the first mistake he's made all race long. I mean, he's possibly slipping. Who knows? Richie Catania looks like he had an incident, as did Tommy Withers. Oh, Withers. Wow. Wheel hops into the hairpin. Does Richie do the same? Yes. Kevin Feemster wants to join the lap 28 incident party. Are the tires starting to fall off? Emily, interested in those Steelers scores. It's 10-3 Browns over the Steelers. They've got some Russell Wilson highlights going on right now. Looks like they're playing in Cleveland, and snow is following where the Browns are playing. Matt Seeger, has he gone for a slide? It looks like he went around on the hairpin. And he does. He gets a little too excited. And Seeger goes around. Seeger again shaking the tail out of there. Matt Seeger pitting on lap 22, so his tires more fresh by 8 laps than Colin McDonough. And looks like another 6 minutes until we get back into the 3rd quarter of the Browns-Steelers game, currently at halftime. Thomas Andrews having an incident in the 6th position. He briefly goes off the racetrack. He and Tommy Withers have traded some fun blows tonight. Withers going really wide out of the corner. You hope he doesn't wreck that race car. And Matt Seeger just trying to hold on to 3rd now with all he's got. He's been driving the life out of that car as well. It is not a short racetrack, almost 2.5 miles. So with these 6 laps, they've got, 5 to 6 laps remaining. They've got close to another 15 miles left. Aaron Edwards says, bring her home, 16. Cheering on for the man from Georgia. Let's go on board with Matt Seeger. Colin McDonough to the tune of 2.5 seconds behind Matt Seeger. And the cars have spaced out once more. Thomas Andrews trying to get a bit closer to Tommy Withers. And there's the gap over the last 5 laps. Andrews chipping away at the gap that Withers has for that top 5 finish. Within 2 seconds. After what was a kind of less than stellar first half for Tommy Withers, he's actually turned it around. He's up 4 places from where he started. And one thing I just noticed here, it says there TNT Round 15 is the 28th of November at Phoenix Raceway. That is not true, and I apologize for that bold-faced lie, because I think November 28 is Thanksgiving. And we're sure as hell not racing on Thanksgiving. So we're going to be back in 2 weeks. My calendar, oh, good Lord, that is not what I wanted. There we go. That's what I get for trying to bring up the calendar on my computer. So whatever in the world the Thursday after that is, that's what we're going to do. I tell you, it's not a Rick James broadcast if something doesn't go wrong on here. 3 laps to go next time by. Noah Belleville has put a masterclass on the field again, as was expected, and he will cruise to what will soon be his first Thursday Night Thunder Championship, and that means we can relax for the next 2 races after this. Phoenix in 2 weeks, and then the season finale at Darlington the week after that. Browns and Steelers, looks like they're about to get into the 3rd quarter here in just a few minutes. Let me get the actual date for that race then, so I can stop lying on the calendar. So December 5, 2 Thursdays from now is when we're going to continue the TNT season. Round 15 of 16, 2 weeks from now, not next week as the screen incorrectly says, Phoenix Raceway. And Indy cars, please do not forget, Indy cars as well. Winter Indy, race number 3 of 6 at the Indianapolis Oval. That is on Tuesday. We're going to have a lot of participants in that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be our first oval race. So we went through Watkins Glen. We did Barber here 2 nights ago. And then we have round 3, which is going to be at Indy. And then what do we have for race number 4? I think it's Road America. Then it goes Iowa and Auto Club to close out the season. So if you love Indy cars, if you just love racing in general, like the rest of us do, tune in, come kick it with us. Let's have a good time. These two are going to have a good time. We've got 2 laps to go next time by. Tommy Withers is only 0.8 of a second ahead of Thomas Andrews. And over the last 5 laps, Andrews has really gotten closer, but has Withers been saving his stuff. Again, these guys last pitted on lap 14. Chances are they have enough fuel to go the distance. Everybody hoping Noah Belleville makes a catastrophic mistake and throws the race away, as unlikely as that might be. Withers now extends his lead to 1.7 seconds over Thomas Andrews. Grandma Jeannie earlier in the chat saying Grandma's so proud of him, wishing he had the opportunity to be part of the real NASCAR world, and genuinely, who knows? Genuinely, who knows? As far as the Thursday Night Thunder world goes, he's put on a record-breaking season. Most single-season all-time wins will now go to Noah Belleville with 9. He, 3 weeks ago, broke the record for most all-time Thursday Night Thunder wins. And where was that? Not Daytona, Michigan, actually. Ends up winning the race there. And Noah Belleville coming into the pits, he does need a splash of fuel. Briley Wright 33 seconds behind him, and the pit lane delta tells you that Belleville should have enough time to get his fuel, get back out on the racetrack. This pit road exit is really treacherous, so if there was ever a moment where Noah Belleville just might throw this one away, this would be it. But he has to assume that Briley's going to stay out with enough fuel to win this race, and Briley Wright will stay out. He'll need to go 21 laps on this tank of fuel, but it doesn't matter. Noah Belleville literally in his pit stall for not even 7 seconds, 6.9 seconds unofficially, and he's out of there. Briley within 10 seconds and maybe not enough fuel to win this. I think that just tells you right there just the ridiculous level of talent that Belleville has put onto this track. Thomas Andrews is making up his own racetrack through the final corner, and he's chasing down Tommy Withers. 2 seconds the gap between them. Suicide Ways in the chat. Cody Riggs, for those that know, he says, I want Belleville tested for steroids. We got to test him for PEDs, man. He's got some PEDs. He's got something going on. Grip hacks, as everyone likes to tease him. Controller advantage, as everyone likes to tease him. The boy's just good. Give him his flowers. The boy is good. He knows what he's doing. And the records speak for it. Again, most all-time Thursday Night Thunder wins. If he comes home a winner in the next lap and a 10th, he'll have most single-season all-time wins. Briley Wright within 13 seconds and praying that Noah Belleville's internet just goes out on him. And what will most likely be a championship for Noah Belleville. The white flag is now out at Barber, and Belleville has just 2.25 miles remaining. We teased him for so many seasons. We said, Noah, why don't you run a full-time season? He said, I just don't want to. I got better things to do. We said, that's why you're never going to win a championship. Well, Moldy won again. If only he would run a full-time season, maybe he'd finally win a championship. Moldy's so fast. Why doesn't he run a full-time championship? And we kept teasing him, and here he is. Noah Belleville. For those that know on the Xbox days, Moldy Muskrat. For what? 4 seasons, 5 seasons, we've picked on him now and told him that he could be an amazing champion, and that's what he's going to be. When this checkered flag flies, he's going to be an amazing champion. And although he may not mathematically clinch it tonight, he may just end up clinching it next week when he turns on the rig and fires up the iRacing ignition. And I say next week, damn it. Next week is Thanksgiving. Don't listen to me. To make a very long story short, what you're looking at is what will soon be your Thursday Night Thunder champion. It will be a record-breaking win. 9 wins, and it is a maiden win for Thursday Night Thunder. Our first ever race at Barber, and an amazing way to do it. Car 41, the pride of DeSoto, Missouri. Noah Belleville wins round 14 at Barber. Briley Wright coming through the final couple of corners as the sun just starts to say goodnight. In iRacing's Birmingham, Alabama, he will come home for second and an extremely deserved third place finish. One of Georgia's very own, number 16, Matt Seeger, crosses the line to come home third. Colin McDonough unofficially in fourth, and Tommy Withers looks like he's going to wrap up the 5th position here. Grandma Jeannie, proud of him. A lot of our friends in the Discord, a lot of our friends from the Xbox days, proud of him as well. Noah Belleville has a lot of celebrating to do. We've got a lot of celebrating to do as well. We're going to talk with him. We're going to talk with, who else we got on the podium? There it is. That's what I'm looking for. We got Briley Wright. We got Matt Seeger as well. Has Matt Seeger been on a TNT podium before? I think he might have been on a podium. Maybe a second or a third before. So, like Nick Pressey, who got his first win this season, Seeger is close to getting his win. Might do it in 2 weeks at Phoenix. Might do it in 3 weeks at Darlington. Fans at home, if you're wondering when we're going to pick the season back up, season number 10 will be coming in late January, mid to late January, so stay tuned for that. Still 2 more races to go this season, and of course we've got the Indy cars here. This kid is a phenomenon. Grandma Jeannie cheering for him, Emily cheering for Matt Seeger, and the kid's done it. All-time single season win record goes to Noah Belleville with 9 wins. And there he goes. So he's going to continue to do the burnout there. We're going to let him celebrate, and we're going to gather Belleville, Wright, and Seeger in the podium, fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment. On the podium with our top 3, starting with Georgia's Matt Seeger. Shotgun, brilliant run tonight. 3rd place, another TNT podium among what was a chaotic race for a lot of us. But it was a good time out there. You have a good time?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. The track was really difficult, but obviously, there was a definite skill gap between, drivers. Obviously, you knew who practiced and who didn't. And I put in a lot of laps, and it turned out, so I'm happy about that.
We get Thanksgiving off next week. So I'm sure you're going to be thankful for a lot. I'm sure you're going to be thankful for going up in the points as well. With prize money on the line, you are 1 point behind Briley Wright with the Thanksgiving break next week, and Phoenix in 2 weeks. Prize money's on the line for you, Shotgun. So in the next 2 weeks, is it just going to be more practice and more just seeing what you can do?
Yeah, I mean, gotta turn more laps. Gotta figure out, how to put a full race together. I've kind of struggled with that this season, whether it's, getting caught in somebody else's mistake or me making a mistake of my own. So I gotta get better at that, and hopefully give Briley a run for his money. He's really good, so I think I can do it though.
Let's see if we can talk to Briley Wright, pride of Greensburg, Kentucky, and one of our famous Bluegrass Bandits. 2nd place tonight, Briley, and we knew that the car was going to be a handful. We knew that you guys were just going to slide all over the place. Did you have a good time, though?
Oh, yeah, it was a blast. Did you happen to see what happened there on lap 17 whenever I was going into Tokyo drift mode?
Let's see what happened here on lap 17. This is off the green flag. You're restarting on the inside of Kevin Feemster.
You got to go all the way to little corkscrew corner where you come up over top of the hill. Go to that.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll take a look here. We'll see what we can do. The rest of your race, though, went pretty much as expected. Did you think 2nd place was a possibility with the competition around you?
Yeah, I didn't really want to have to race Seeger heads up. I knew I could match his speed, but he was just a little more consistent than I was. Whenever he pit, I saw the gap behind me to like the next guy, so I just was like, I'll just take an easy second place, saved a bunch of fuel, and I guess I just took the easy way out. I know that's who I'm points battling. That's the only guy I got to beat. I wasn't really too much worried about Moldy. He was too gone at that point, so. Just going to keep points battling away. Kind of a little stressing out about Phoenix and Darlington. I feel a lot more comfortable with, but it's going to be exciting for third place, that's for sure.
I mean, it's been an awesome battle. Although Belleville up there is kind of just running away with the rest of this one. The battle for the rest of the competition has been a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what happens over these next two races, man. If we don't talk to you until then, you have a happy Thanksgiving, but we're excited to see you in 2 weeks for Phoenix.
All right, you too, Rick.
On to driver 41, who will soon be the champion. Moldy, mathematically, you haven't clinched the championship yet, but in 2 weeks at Phoenix, if you start the race car, that'll be it. You will be that champion. So it's all but sealed up. You have the single season win record with 9. After we kept making fun of you and picking on you, you finally decided to show us all up, and here you are with 2 races to go in the season, just putting a master class on everybody, man. What a season so far.
Yeah, it's been a pretty great season, and hey, let's go for 10. Let's get into the double digits.
Thankful for that single season win record, and then 2 weeks from now at Phoenix, how do you fancy your chances?
I like it. Phoenix is a little more of a technical track, and Darlington is even more of a technical track, and I seem to do well on those types of tracks. So, yeah, hopefully we can end it off with 2 more wins to seal off this championship.
We'll see what happens. I mean, the record can just keep getting higher and higher, man. So we're going to see you on Tuesday as well. We got Winter Indy at the Indy Oval, so we're going to see you there.
Yes, you will see me there.
We're going to see
hopefully
Briley
we
right
see
there
a
as
lot
well.
of other people.
Yeah, we're going to see Briley right there as well. Seeger, Shotgun, you coming to race with us?
You know what? I was thinking about it, so you might see me out there.
Do it.
We might
It's fun.
see you on Tuesday. I'm excited, man. This is a really technical, difficult race. A lot of spread out racing, but it was a lot of fun to watch. Indianapolis is going to be so much less than that. Really tight, really fast, and they're Indy cars. Who doesn't love seeing the Indy cars race at the Oval? So we'll be there Tuesday night right here, Rick James TV, 8:40 p.m. for Winter Indy Race 3. Then it's the Thanksgiving break, and we'll be back at it the week after that. So until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other.